If you haven't started a YouTube channel yet and you're over the age of 40 or 50 or 80, I want to talk to you about why it could be a really great idea to start your own YouTube channel. I think there's this sense of social media is for kids, right? For young people, and YouTube being a platform that involves video creation, it seems like maybe there's this barrier of entry that is too challenging to get past. But it's really not the case. It's very, very simple to set up a simple couple of pieces of equipment, a webcam or your phone for that matter, and just press record and start creating videos. And why would you want to do that? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Personal growth is one, and I know for me, this YouTube channel has been in existence since, early 2019. And so it's a few years old now, and it hasn't really done tremendously well compared to some of the channels you see out there that seem to get explosive growth very quickly. But I didn't do much with this channel in the early days, and only recently I started to create a few more videos. I started to experiment with different types of videos in different niches, and I learned a lot. In fact, I call this channel my learning channel. I refer to it that way because there really hasn't been a sense of direction on it yet, but I've been trying all these different things and learning as I go. And that's been a tremendous experience and a tremendous opportunity for personal growth for me. Of course, the other big reason people start YouTube channels is for income generation. And that's something that I think is on the minds of a lot of older adults, especially in the climate we seem to be in as far as economics and careers, and the way things are going with all kinds of disruption happening to the traditional models of business out there. YouTube is actually a great example of how things have changed. If we think about our habits of watching television, for example, and what that looked like when we were growing up, it's not the same anymore. And part of that for me, I think, is it doesn't feel like there's much of anything good to watch, certainly not good quality programming. But the other reason is that we now have these other options. We don't rely on just the television stations to feed us content anymore. There are streaming services to choose from, and YouTube is one of those services. That leads me to a very positive reason as to why now is the perfect time for older adults to start a YouTube channel. And that is that there is an increasing demand for diverse content on the platform. We have something that younger generations don't have, and that is life experience. And we can leverage that to tell important stories and really resonate with our target audience. Plus, it's really easy to get started. I know that people will look at some of the videos on the platform and think they have to be able to create some kind of Hollywood production to be successful. But it's not at all the case. On YouTube, it is the topic, the subject matter that matters most. And we can get started with as little as our phone, the camera in our pockets. The cameras on phones these days are tremendous. And I know there are some photographers out there who will argue with that. But for the average viewer on YouTube, they're just not going to notice a substantial difference between what you shoot on your phone versus what you shoot with a professional camera. So you cannot let equipment or anything technical prevent you from getting started. So I really want to invite you to set aside those common concerns about starting a YouTube channel. The technology will be helpful to you if you're willing to embrace it. You are certainly not too old to start a YouTube channel. In fact, I came across a channel just recently. I think it's called Old Me Living Better. And the fellow who started it, just started it, I think he said 3 weeks ago in one of his recent videos, where he talked about the 3 steps he took to start a YouTube channel at the age of 80 years old, and he started doing this. And his channel appears to be doing reasonably well. I think at the time of this recording, there's only maybe 4 or 5 videos on it, but it's starting off incredibly well. So you can do this. Fear of failure is another big one, and honestly, there is no way to fail at YouTube if you're willing to commit to it. The idea is that you're going to learn as you go, and probably your early videos are not going to be terrific videos, but you never know. Some do very, very well early on. The idea is that the next video gets a little bit better, and the next video gets a little bit better, and the next one, and so on and so forth. And eventually you have this body of work on your channel that speaks for itself, that shows your path of learning, and that people in your audience begin to trust. Then there's the question of time, the time it takes to shoot and edit videos. It does take some time, and it's going to take a longer time on some of your earlier videos. There's no question about that. But the payoff is that with YouTube, your video lasts seemingly forever in some cases, especially if you've covered a topic that has kind of some evergreen characteristics to it. This video, for example, there will be 40, 50, 80-year-olds looking for this kind of information for probably quite a while. So this video could die out of the gate, but it could potentially gain views for years and years to come. And I've had some other videos on my channel do that. And on this channel, in fact, there are some videos that are still gaining views, and they're 3 or 4 years old. And so they show in the analytics this kind of hockey stick curve almost, where suddenly it takes off and it's going up and up and up, and it doesn't seem to have any end in sight to it, at least at this point. So although it might have taken me some time to shoot those videos, and I'm doing them faster now, by the way, but it took me some time, it's paid off because they're still working. They're still gaining attention for me. And when this channel becomes monetized, which it's getting close to doing, those videos will continue to generate revenue for me as well. And I just had to make them once. Even though I might have spent a few hours on them, I just had to do it once. And now it's in a position where it can generate a steady revenue stream for me. So you have the time if you make the time, if you prioritize it. And believe me, it is really well worthwhile to learn this stuff and give it a good chance. You probably have to make 100 videos. In fact, the YouTube gurus, the big YouTubers like Mr. Beast is one. If you're not familiar with him, ask your kids or just Google him or look him up right on YouTube. He's got a massive YouTube following and is probably the most famous YouTuber, and he talks about creating 100 videos and making them better and better each time before you really get this opportunity for your channel to take off. Of course, there are always exceptions, but I just want to make sure that you have a realistic idea of what to expect, generally speaking, when starting a new YouTube channel. Then there's the question of what are you going to make your videos about? Choosing your niche for your channel and then choosing the topics for your videos. That can stump some people, but it's not that complicated, or at least it doesn't have to be that complicated, because most people have something that they're very, very interested in or very, very passionate about, hobbies, skills, areas of expertise, those kinds of things. And then it's just a matter of doing some research, looking around YouTube and seeing if there are other channels that cover those topics that you're interested in. And if there are, that's actually a good thing. I know some people will look and say, oh, you know, there's at least 10 or 50 other channels that have the same kinds of topics that I would be interested in covering, and so that's too much competition. Well, actually, that's not the case. In fact, seeing lots of other content in the areas that you're interested in is validation that there is an audience for those things. So you just have to put your own unique spin on it. When you find a unique angle or perspective on those topics, you differentiate yourself from the competitors in the space. And just you, yourself, having you on camera is a differentiator because you're going to deliver the information differently than anybody else. Then when it comes to actually creating your videos, use your experience as leverage. Tell stories. You're going to have some understanding of who your target audience is, and you have a tremendous advantage with that life experience to be able to share personal anecdotes around the different topics that you choose to talk about. And then be consistent, right? You're going to want to come up with a video probably once a week, I would say. If you miss a week, whatever, just get back on the horse the next week. But consistency is really important, especially early on in a new channel, because people will come to expect when to look for your new videos. And not only that, but the way YouTube works is it's constantly trying to find an audience for your materials. So early on, you're not going to have a lot of it on your channel. And so by providing a consistent upload to your channel, it helps the YouTube algorithm to just sort of take that information and put it out there to its ecosystem and try to figure out who's watching it, how long are they watching it for, and really identify who that audience is that is more likely to enjoy your other videos as you keep uploading them. And then over time, YouTube just serves those videos to a much more refined audience, and that helps your channel grow at a much faster rate. Now you might be thinking, okay, I'm going to create this YouTube channel. I'm going to put a ton of work into creating videos about all the things I like to talk about. Where's the payoff? Most people don't start a YouTube channel just for fun. There usually is that ultimate goal of creating a revenue stream out of it. Well, I mentioned earlier that this channel is getting close to one opportunity for that, and that is through the YouTube Partner Program. So the way that works is you have to have 1,000 subscribers, that's the minimum, and then you have to get 4,000 hours of watch time on your channel within a year, within 365 days. We've got 1,000 subscribers. I think we've got 1,080 something at the time of this recording. We don't yet have the watch time, and I'm just hopeful at this point that we're going to hit that soon. We still have a little ways to go, but by creating more content, we should get there. Basically, what the partner program is an opportunity to share in the revenue, the ad revenue that YouTube generates by showing ads on your videos. And it's just a good idea to be aware that some types of channels make more money than others. So, for example, if you had a finance channel, a channel about business or investing or making money online, something like that, advertisers tend to pay a higher rate to show ads on those kinds of videos than they would on, say, something about celebrities or other entertainment stuff. So I don't think that should influence your decision about what to make videos about or what your channel niche should be, because ultimately you're going to make the best content and grow an audience in the best way by doing things that you are familiar with or interested in. But it is good to be aware that the rates can be different. Another way that people make money on their videos is by doing affiliate marketing. And that's where you promote somebody else's product or service. You have a unique affiliate link to that product or service, and you promote it, you talk about it in your video, and you drop the link in the description below the video and encourage people to visit that. And then if somebody buys whatever that product or service is, you earn a commission on that purchase. There are some people that have done very, very well with affiliate marketing over the years. But you know what? People can do even better if they have their own product or service to sell. Let's say you have an online course, which I've had several over the years, and if I ever get a YouTube online course, I'm going to put a link to that in the description of this video. But you can create your own course, your own product, your own service, and set your own price. And if you sell that with your YouTube videos, well then of course all of the revenue comes directly to you. And some of the biggest YouTubers actually make most of their money from selling their own products and services over through a YouTube video over and above what they generate through the YouTube Partner Program with advertising. We can do this. In fact, older adults, so to speak, might have the biggest advantage of all in creating a YouTube channel, and that is patience. We remember a time when there was no instant gratification. In fact, we've lived most of our lives through that time. We remember a time before the internet and a time when we scrimped and saved for things over weeks and months. And we didn't just order something online today and have it show up on our doorstep tomorrow. With YouTube, that's an advantage because YouTube tends to be a long game. You put a lot of work in up front to build your body of work, your multiple videos on your channel, and it slowly snowballs while your audience grows. It does require a tremendous amount of patience, but once you get there, the reward pays off forever. It is well worth the effort. So if you want to set up a side hustle, or if you want to create a revenue stream you can carry into retirement, or whatever it might be, I just really want to encourage you to give strong consideration to starting a YouTube channel. It can be a ton of fun. It really is fun to create these videos, and you're going to learn a whole lot. And if you do it well and you gain knowledge as you go and you keep improving, you're going to make some money doing it. I wish you all the best.